Ferice, cât de real arată, mâncați așa. Bine, este real. Dar asta e partea a doua. Dar știți care e partea a treia? Că eu iar filmez fără chiloți. Bine, ideea e că v-a plăcut relativ destul de mult. Sau relativ ok. Decent. A fost ok. Videoul în care am reacționat la catnap construit în viața reală ca să fac și cu DogDay. Rămâne de văzut pe viitor cu ce vom mai face. După cum vedeți, vocea asta mi-a mai revenit așa o lecuță. Nu total, dar tot e mai bine. Și ce să mai zic? A, da, pentru cei ce nu mă știu, vă salut băieți și femei, bineînțeles. Eu sunt Slimer, dar prietenii îmi zic Slinosu, iar acesta este canalul meu unde postez în mare parte teorii de tip indie horror. Bine, asta este cu totul altceva, este o reacție de domeniul fantasticul și asupra naturalului. Nu uitați acolo like și subscribe, follow pe Insta, serverele de Discord în descriere. Să-i dăm drumul, băieți. Ia, dăm deci de la început. Mai fecăm și noi la căul.
In this video we're going to build a real DogDay animatronic that's hanging from a wall with no legs.
We're Jamie and we bring your favorite monsters to life. After we built Catnap, it was pretty obvious who y'all wanted us to build next. So let's do it.
DogDay is one of the characters from Poppy Playtime Chapter 3, and in the game, Catnap imprisons him in like this jail cell kind of thing, and that's the scene we're going to recreate. Today, the challenge is to build DogDay completely from scratch, but also we're going to use pneumatics instead of motors for his movement.
Bă, hai să facem și o schemă dacă tot. Bam!
Step one, we're going to work with an engineer to build a huge
extend the view.
This thing is going to be very big.
Next, we're going to build a giant wall to hang him from and make it look just like the jail cell.
From there, we're going to build him a body and his giant creepy head, and then finally, we're going to learn how to use a prop controller to create his animation.
We were just at a huge Halloween show called Transworld.
Mamă, vei, du-te mă încolo ce au în afară.
Had some hanging props that definitely gave us a DogDay vibe.
Bă, dar ce chestii faine au în afară, frate, și la noi nu găsești nici mod.
Animatronic mechs that are designed to put your own monster on top of. They've got a ton of different mechs like kicking feet and ground breakers and
mult prea mișto, frate, mult prea mișto.
Figured out a design for DogDay and he got started.
Bă, voi vă dați seama efectiv cât de greu e să înveți să faci așa ceva. Să-mi bat piciorul. Bă, dar mi-a căscut barba! Idee, băieți, încerc să mă abțin și să vorbesc cât pot eu de frumos. Pentru video. După ce închei video, să vedeți să te înjură tu bag aici. Am încercat să mă abțin pentru că știu că o să se uite mulți pânci și după o să fie ceva de genul. De ce
This is just one of them. There's going to be three.
Cringe moment.
What I'm building here is called a flat, which is essentially a fake wall. It's the same way you'd build walls for like a film set or a theater show or even a haunted house.
Ia, frate, ia.
Why do we keep doing this to ourselves?
We keep building these giant things. We're going to need a bigger
Bine, nu vreau
garage.
nici să fac
So the next
foarte
step
multe
is we have to
caturi.
stand them up and we're going to bolt them together to create like the mega wall, but we're going to do it backwards.
Pentru că n-a vreau să fie și naturală reacția. Și de data asta vreau să las. M-a venit tot video. Știți ce zic? În limita noastră, frate.
You're going to paint this whole thing, right?
Yes, we're going to paint it to look like DogDay's
Băgame și eu ceva în iadă.
We should wait till the mech gets here so we can test it out and make sure like nothing needs to change.
It's big enough, right?
I hope so. It can't get any bigger than this.
Ia, frate, ia. Ia să vedem acum.
Is that what I think it is?
Aoleu. Ia, frate, ce-s totul ăștia de aici? Aoleu.
This is awesome.
Now you see why
the insane. Sunt eu cum am. Și așa o să lipească ei de perete, bă, frate. Bă, până una alta sunt mai cos și ochii la ăștia.
Because basically these are going to go up on the top of the wall. And then they have these holes in them already. And
ochelari ăștia în Facebook,
I
frate.
saved this piece of wood for so long, you guys, because I knew someday we'd use it.
Ia, frate, ia.
Look at this. We are the worst hoarders. Are you really?
Băi, incredibil, frate, așa ceva.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna try. You ready?
Okay.
Băi! Bă, ce forță are un meu în el.
I weigh way more than DogDay's gonna weigh, so I think we're clear. Plus, he's gonna have other straps too. So that's good, right?
Yes.
All right, we got some climbing
Cât e, mă,
here
ceasul?
to hook this on.
E 5:50, hai că merge.
For our test anyway. Here we go.
Okay. Awesome.
So these go up like this
Awesome,
somewhere,
frate, awesome, ești mă.
and like
Somewhere like here. I think there's a problem.
Să-mi ziceți dacă mai veți video așa mai lungi cu reacții, dacă găsesc chestii interesante.
So, when the pistons go, he's just gonna be like,
Ziceți și la ce vreți să mai reționez, dacă tot.
You gotta leave play care.
But if it's on this side, then
La oamenii ăștia cu siguranță vom mai reacționa, ca idee.
I did tell him to put it on that side.
It's almost there.
Ia, frate. Bă, nu știu, încerc să fac content entertaining pentru toate vârstele. Gen asta încerc eu în momentul de față să nu fiu nici prea brainless, prea pentru pungi, dar nici să mă rezum numai la ăștia mai mari, pentru că nu este o audiență chiar atât de mare. Și n-ați prins voi ideea, băi, băi! Ce asta, frate?
Everything's hooked up, but before we turn it on, I want to show you guys how this stuff even works. So these things right here are called cylinders, and when air comes through these tubes, it either opens or closes the cylinder, and that's how this whole thing moves. So it all starts down here with the air compressor, which compresses the air and sends it through this hose, which goes all the way up here. The air comes into a regulator, which controls the pressure, and then from there, we split it into these three solenoids. These are what determine if the air cylinder is out or in. They're basically like switches. Switch it one way, the cylinder pushes open. Switch it the other way, the cylinder pushes back closed. That's why there's two air hoses coming out of each one. The solenoids also go into a control which lets us animate and record everything. We'll get more of this later, but
faceți o idee cum arată,
Are we ready?
ia stați o secundă.
Oh my goodness, yes.
De ce stați o secundă?
That'll be his head.
Ca să-mi faceți o idee cum arată asta. Nu o să vă dau poză cu el, pentru că da. Până atunci ne uităm aici, holy fucking shit.
Yay!
That is so cool. I'm not gonna lie, I was worried.
One second, baby, it's 1 second.
But I'm real excited. That was so cool.
Deci dacă proful meu de fizică ar fi în bă, ăștia așa ar arăta. Bă, sper că se vede bine la cameră. Efectiv, semiță, sămânță, cum vreți să ziceți.
To make DogDay's body, we're essentially creating like a 3D wireframe in real life. So we've made these, and these are going to go like around his torso. These things are going to help hold them up, and then once we put all these on, we'll put some cross wires on and duct tape. All right, DogDay has a nice round shape. I think I'm really happy with this. I was going to put wire on his arms too to make that shape, but I've got some leftover foam, and I think I'm going to use this on the arms instead. Can just wrap it around there.
Un burete de la nesimțit ăștia.
So you may have noticed I cut this piece off, which used to be right here, and we put new ones on, and I actually just made them smaller. They used to be sticking way down, but I think this is pretty good, so we can just carry it all the way down.
Vezi, băieți, sunt foarte, foarte viu.
That was like the worst duct tape job.
We're all intensely judging your duct taping skills.
Please don't.
Păi, dar vreau și un ăsta.
Now he has arms. What you doing?
Do you remember on Catnap when you said this?
I'm never carving something like this big again. Yes, and I meant it.
Well, I think I found a solution for you. I've been working with our modeler friend to create a super good model of DogDay's head that we can 3D print. Because the skeleton is made of metal on this one, we don't have to worry about the weight as much. So if we 3D print a huge thing, it'll hopefully be okay. Problem though is that it's so big we have to split it into like 10 or 12 parts to fit on our printer, and it's going to take forever to actually print it.
Hey, but at least we won't be covered in pink foam dust for a week.
Yeah, there is that. That's really good.
Bă, dar pe tot îl înfășoară cu metre. Bă!
This is cool.
Yeah, it is.
Everything still moves freely. These have plenty of space. What do we do next? There's like so much. There's the head, there's the hands, there's the
Și gândiți-vă că eu în momentul de față nu am chiloți.
Ooh, let's do that next.
Yeah.
Bă, ca idee, în caz că vor mai fi din nou, ca la clipul cu Catnap, secvențe de astea în care o să se audă ciudat clipul sau nu o să mă auziți bine, e din cauza că s-ar putea să conțină muzici copyright. Gen... Asta e consecința dacă vreau să le îndepărtez.
that looks
Bă, dar
really
săracul
cool.
cu copil acolo, bă.
It does.
Because, you know, you only have to do
Mă, dar ăștia până la urmă mă gândesc că plătesc
of them.
gen ca să... cum să zic eu, mă?
I wasn't
Ca să
too
poată
sure about
folosi
this wall
ăstea și să
at
aibă și
first,
monetizare,
but
pentru că mă
definitely
gândesc de
going
cu ca
on.
monetizare
The
ăștia.
dirtier we get it, the
Ar fi
more.
păcat cu aia.
Next is one of the most fun
Însă,
parts, I think. We're
cum
going to
să
take
zic
some
eu?
black paint, water it down, and just splatter it on there because behind
Să ai
DogDay
un
is
clip
like
din
this
ăsta
big black
cu 11 milioane de views și să folosești muzică cu copyright când știi că nu o să poți monetiza.
There's paint on the
Ce
ceiling
negă,
and
frate.
all over the walls.
Ce negă e peretele ăla.
And my hair.
And you're, but I think we're finally done with this giant wall. It's been what, 4 days? I think?
Yes, but
Something like that.
4 zile!
Which is good also because all the 3D printing of the head is done, so we can finally put that together.
yay!
As expected, 3D printing DogDay's head took a long time. Our Bamboo Labs printer is really fast, but even so, it's been going non-stop for the past 5 days. The filament we're using is this really nice autumn orange PLA Plus that we got from 3D Fuel. It's incredibly rigid and really easy to print. Also, they make it about 10 minutes from our house, which we love. Authentic farm-to-table Texas-grown filament. Even though DogDay is from a game and already has a 3D model, you can't just rip it out of the game and print it. So, we called our friend Beardless Props and commissioned him to make us a custom model of DogDay's head specifically for printing as an animatronic.
Da, asta
After
e consecința
hollowed it
la...
all out, split it into 10 different parts that would fit our printer.
Este
We
un
added
model din
custom
ăsta
mounting
făcut
holes to fit our
special ca să
mechanism
poți
and
printa.
even
Și ce
an
zic?
access panel in the back. This should kind of be like putting Legos together, I hope. We got a couple
Că nu
extra
poate
parts. We've got
fi
these
printat
things
orice
which are
model
braces
și
that
dacă
go
nu
on
găsești
the
pe net
inside.
ăsta
We've
special,
also got these tiny
trebuie să
little
plătești pe cineva să-ți
plastic
facă cam mai
pegs.
chestia.
They go in these holes
Da.
to help
Chestiile astea
align
le
everything.
dă...
So we got all this stuff, we got some super glue.
Aha,
Let's do
sunt
this.
chestii de-astea, cum zic eu, ca să poată prinde astea. Foarte mișto, bă, foarte mișto.
I love how it all just lines up.
Bă, ce
These are basically
satisfying
like
e.
little mini trusses, and they're gonna brace the inside, which is gonna connect the mounting plate to the side of the head, because it's so big that once it starts moving around, we don't want it to just like snap in half. Yes, that's a lot of pieces.
Bă, insane.
Okay, there's one final piece. See on the back here, this is gonna be our access panel, and we got this little piece, and we glued in some magnets, so it should fit. Aha. So like I put in there, this is how we're gonna actually screw it down to the base, and then once that's done, pop like that. I do think we should test it next though. Just like we did with Catnap, like before we do all the fur and the
Bă, sunt curios când o să pună blana aia de
So to put the head on, there's this mounting hole right here, which fits perfectly on here, and then we just gotta bolt everything together.
Bă, între timp, haideți să vă spun și eu o poveste, bă.
Okay. We might need to actually take him down.
Știați că
and bolt this
există
on the
un
table.
regat cu o pădure interzisă, iar în pădurea aia se află un
We got the head
vierme,
bolted on.
numai că viermele ăla este secret
Alright, you got that?
și foarte indecent.
Okay.
Ați prins referința, cringe moment.
That's
Am
on
eu
there.
ceva să zic cringe moment la orice să mă uit,
Let
pentru că
go.
orice e
Oh,
cringe în lumea asta.
Well, he's flying now. Well,
Shoot. Alright, well, let's get the arms on.
okay.
Oh, even worse. Okay.
Bă, dar cum
That's
stă?
not right. How do we, maybe?
On the bright side, I mean, look at this. It's on. Can we just hang a weight from...
We can sure try.
A, mă, pe bune! Măi, mai ești, băi, băieți.
All right, we spent most of yesterday trying to figure out how to solve this, and I think we got it working pretty good. So the first thing we did is we moved the
Bă,
whole
dacă
thing
ți se chinuie ăștia, mi se
further
pare
away from the
insane,
wall.
frate. Bă, cum
And
să
now
atâta
with the weight you
răbdare?
put on it, there's this big space back here. There was so much friction with it smushed against the wall that it was making it really hard to move.
Frecare,
Another thing
frate.
we tried is if you look
Forța de
back here,
frecare.
there's this eye bolt.
Bă,
and
știu
we put
că,
it behind
în
him, and
general,
I tried to basically attach the neck right here
a
to the
fost
eye bolt
pusă
to kind of hold him upright,
întrebarea
which
unui
worked,
coleg,
except now he was tied to the
gen,
wall, so he still wouldn't move. So that didn't really
să
fix the
zică
problem.
ceva
Finally, what really did it
la
was we
care,
put the third
nu știu,
set of
care se poate
straps up
freca
here for
cum a
the
venit.
wrists, and now
Să
when the arm
schimbe
tries to
forma,
move, it
sau
kind of
ceva,
gets stuck
forța
and
de
pulls
frecare
the
pe
body
lămâni.
back
Și
and
astea,
forth.
Aici.
Between moving them out and adding the straps, everything's working
Puța
great.
lui, dar a zis puțica mea. Mamă, frate, că tare, vă dați seama.
It's
Puțulică.
crazy to me that thing doesn't just fly off and break.
Bă, ăsta era ca puțulica lui DogDay. Bă, de ce vorbesc, bă, aici?
Project like DogDay, there's a lot
plâng.
of things for the first time, like pneumatics and building a giant wall. There are a lot of steps to keep track of, and it can easily get overwhelming. To help us work through that,
Bă,
is the sponsor of today's video, Day One Journal, the #1 journaling app on the Apple App Store. There are studies that have proven that writing down your goals has a huge impact on your actually achieving them. With Day One Journal, we can stay with our day-to-day tasks, keep track of progress, and we've found that especially on these massive builds, it's had a big effect on our productivity. Einstein used to say, never memorize what
Bă, nu mă arătați copii!
that means when you write it down, it clears up space.
Bă, nu mă arătați copii!
But it's not just about productivity. With Day One Journal, you can capture your memories and feelings, brainstorm ideas, or...
Bă, e ceva un arătare
And
copiilor.
with premium features like being able to add video, audio, drawings, even importing from Instagram, the possibilities are endless. Try Day One Journal today.
E ceva foarte rău, băi, băieți, băi.
Wickedmakers and use the code Wickedmakers
Am dat și microfonul mai aproape acum, ca idee.
2-month free trial of Day One Premium. That's DAYONE
Așa.
app.com/Wickedmakers and see why it's the best.
L-am pus mult mai aproape de mine acum.
Okay, so this is the fur we got.
Ar trebui să mă
Dog.
auziți
The
mai
brown
bine.
is for his ears, and the yellow is for his belly, and the orange. Where is the orange?
Hey, there's DogDay.
Oh, Luna. What are you doing with my fur? Before we actually put this on, though, I'm going to put a thin layer of batting on the body. Batting is like a squishy, foamy stuff, and it'll just kind of
frate, ia.
soften the curves.
Momentul adevărului.
So this is batting, and it's basically what you put inside of a quilt or a blanket to make it fluffy. You know, I think I'm gonna make a pattern for this. I don't have a lot of orange fur, and I was gonna pin it and drape it and cut it, but the pattern's gonna be way more efficient and exact, and I want it to be form-fitting, so pattern time.
Mamă! Bă, cum îl învălesc nebunii, dar îi pune și pe mii de asta pe orice. E bun? Bă, dar cât de multă muncă în spate, mă, frate, mă.
Okay, I have a minor creative issue. The zipper on his belly is a pretty prominent part of his costume, but the traditional way you put a zipper in is you put the fabric like over the zipper edges, but if I do that, we're gonna lose the zipper.
Oh, it's like hidden behind all the fur?
It's gonna be hidden behind all the long fur, and you're never gonna see the zipper.
Aolo.
So, what if we just put the zipper like on top of the fur, like that? Maybe I can trim this so it's not quite as wide, but like it's on top.
Well, that seems fine to me.
Yeah? That's what we're doing.
Aha, pune pe mal, pe blană, băi. Ești bun? Insane, bă, frate, bă, insane. Magie neagră, bă, frate. Efectiv, magie neagră!
While Jamie's finishing up the arms, I'm gonna get the head ready. Now, most of this is gonna be covered in fur, except for the inside of the mouth and the eyes. And because we got these weird seams here, I'm gonna use some Bondo putty to fill those in.
Aha, deci...
Okay, we sanded off the Bondo and everything is smooth, ready to paint. Now, if you watch the Canal video, we found the blackest paint in the world, and that's what we use to paint the eyes and the inside of the mouth. And that works so good, we're just gonna do the same exact thing. The paint is called Muso Black. It's freaking awesome. We'll put a link to it in the description.
Yeah, but
it just hides everything so dark that little scratches and marks and stuff, they'll never show up. I just realized I forgot to prime this first. There's no primer. But it's like it still looks pretty good. I'm gonna let this dry for a second and do the eyes.
All right, it's time to fur this puppy. Now, when I did catnap,
this puppy.
This puppy.
I see what you did there.
When I did catnap, I just laid the fur on top of it and glued and like pinched it and like kind of more winged it. But since DogDay has like the 3 different colors, he's got the different mouth and eyes, I want to make a pattern and be a little more exact with this one.
Mamălei. Bă, și cum a venit acum la rupe de tot, ești nebun? Da, învelesc în... Mam! Vreau să zic că învelesc în 11.000 de chestii. Bă, o îmbătrânit asta.
To glue this stuff on. The downside of hot glue is if you live somewhere really hot like us, it will maybe one day melt if you store it outside. But we're just not going to do that.
Are o colegă cu barbă și mustață, bă. Dacă ați mai pomenit așa ceva. Bă, da, chiar arată real.
Ah, that looks amazing.
So fluffy.
But he's like, it looks like he has a beard though. It's way too long.
Yes, I think we're gonna have to trim it. Maybe like
bă, o să taie. Nu, bă, îi taie blana asta.
Just not this shaggy.
O zic de parcă ar fi viu, ești nebun.
He can see now. There's a little bit more tweaking I think we'll want to do.
Bine, acum arată, chiar că arată mult mai bine.
All right, DogDay has huge ears, and they're floppy, but they're also not. At the top of his ear, they're very structured, and they perk up. So to make those, we're going to use some foam, and then I'm going to put some wire in my foam. That way I can adjust it.
He finally looks like a dog.
Yeah, frate, yeah.
Like a weird frog or something.
Yeah. And look, that's a good amount of floppage, but it's stay
Mă, da,
here.
mă jur, mă, deci, efectiv, pierdem și cu DogDay, fă, oare chiar arată ca niște broaște, mă, să mă, dar nu.
We made his eyes almost the exact same way as catnap, with these clear ornaments that we sanded and painted. The only real difference is we wired up some custom LEDs this time and glued them in from the inside of it.
Mamălei! Bă, ești nebun. Mă, frate, bă, și devenea atâta de interesant.
The last piece of his face is his nose, and I want to make it shiny. Usually when we do shiny stuff, I'll just put like a gloss over it or even like clear nail polish sometimes, but we've seen north of the border and a bunch of other YouTubers use UV resin a ton of times, and it always looks awesome, so we're gonna try it.
We have horrible luck with resin. Anything resin.
We do. It's not a good fit for the shop here, but wait, that's not even the right thing to take off.
Good start.
Oh my God.
This does not bode well.
It's fine, it's fine. Time to cure it. Ready?
Yes.
Okay.
Ia, frate, ia.
I mean, honestly, that looks like perfect.
It's very shiny. It's so shiny.
That was so easy.
That's amazing.
Look how good that looks. It honestly came out like perfect. And took, what, 5 minutes?
Yeah, love it. Now that the nose is on, we can do some final trimming up around here, make it even. He finally looks like a dog.
Bă, bune, frate, în sfârșit arată, bă, ca un cățel, bă.
No.
Asculți cum să lipească.
And this is what he does to heretics.
Bă, dar ce mișto imită. Adică nu sună ca vocea lui DogDay, dar îmi place vocea pe care are ăsta când încearcă să imite. Asta și zic, probabil că da, probabil că nu, sau probabil că sunt eu tâmpit, băi băieți.
Next, we made a wire skeleton to go inside and help us pose it, and then we're gonna stuff all the rest of it with some polyfill. This is not the right color. It's supposed to match his ears. So luckily, we happen to have some spray paint that's a pretty good match. So I'm gonna try spray painting them. Okay, there's a pretty big difference here. I'm happy with how this turned out. So we will go spray paint.
Așa l-avea și în joc? Nici nu mai știu.
Now that we got the head and the hands put on, I want to show you guys something. So the reason we made the ears floppy is, watch this.
Bă, ești nebun!
As the head moves, the ears just flop around. There's no motor or anything inside them, but because they're floppy, they just move. In an animation, we call that secondary motion. So this thing is called a prop controller. This one's made by Purgatory Props, and we're going to be using it to control but it can also be used to control any of your props, like your lights or your effects or your
Bă, dai mult pe șmecher, frate, ce fac oamenii ăștia.
Control a bunch of things and record animation without needing a computer to do any programming and stuff like that. So in record mode, I can just press these buttons to record as much animation as I want. I can also hook up like speakers and have it play sounds and things like that. And when you've recorded what you want, you can actually trigger it. So I could use like a push button to trigger it. You can use a motion sensor, anything like that. They're honestly super easy to use and a lot of fun. Thanks to Purgatory Props for sending us this one. We'll put a link in the description if you want to check it out.
So just like Catnap has a big gold moon on his zipper pull, DogDay has a sun. Only when he's in the game and he's on the wall, the sun is not there.
Bă, ești nebun.
But it does
Da,
appear
nu
as
vă
soon as
să
he drops down and starts
Așa.
chasing.
Bă, dar fiți antene că asta e filmat înainte să pună palmele, că nu le avea pus.
So we asked Mob, and they confirmed with us that it should have been there when he was hanging on the wall. So we're gonna
Bă!
3D printed the sun.
Bă, nu te cred, bă! Bă, ce găja au făcut ăștia! Bă, nu i-au pus colierul, bă! LOL.
The wind is what's getting it.
Bă, n-ai cum așa ceva!
There's too much wind in here.
Bă!
There's no wind in here.
Video ăsta mi-a schimbat viața. Băi, băieți, mi-a schimbat-o.
It's just crazy.
It's so cool.
Hai, mă! Opa, opa, opa! Țâțe curg, țâțe curg, țâțe curg. Să-mi văd, băi, băieți, nu băgați asta în seamă.
Once upon a time, he was clean and bright like this, but he has been hanging on this wall for a really long time. So we're gonna make him dirty and gross.
Ia, frate, ia. Ma! Ce face mădăria, frate? Dar cu ce-l dau, mă? Că mi-aș da show cu chestia de asta. Masca de grijă am în spate. Masca așa de toate zilele. Ce fac așa? Aha! Bă, ce bine arată. Bă, cât de bine arată. Bă, cât de bine arată. Bă, m-am îndrăgostit de la no homo. S-a glumit, băi, băi, s-a glumit.
We try to make sure there's something we've never done before so that you guys get to learn alongside us. And this time it was pneumatics. Before this, I honestly had no idea how it worked, but now that we've done it, it's unlocked like this whole new category of stuff we can make that's even bigger and crazier.
We can't go any bigger. We're already hitting the ceiling.
Anyway, the point is, don't be afraid to try new things. You might fail sometimes, but you'll always gain some XP, and every once in a while, you'll level up.
Our wicked shout out this week goes to Sawyer and Sadie, who are currently building a zombie werewolf on the moon, which just sounds awesome.
I hope you guys like this one as much as we did. Thanks for watching, and until next time, stay with
Ia, frate, ia. Ia, rezultatul final. Holy shit!
You're Pappy's angel.
Mamăle.
Save us. Nothing left to save.
Bă, cum se mișcă nebunul? Bă!
Catnap's home angel. They're home. A myriad pairs of eyes are on you now. Watching, waiting, hungry.
Creepy, relativ. Poate da, poate nu, poate sunt eu prăjit, nici nu știu.
Listen to me. You need to get out of
Bă, ce mișto, frate!
You and Poppy could fix this. And disband this. No. Leave me. Please.
Bol, mam. LOL. Ce mișto, bă, cum a făcut. Am mulțumit special aici. Bă, super mișto, frate, super mișto. Super mișto. Bă, ce m-au ăștia aici? Și avea să mă încă o dată, deci ăsta e așa, ăsta e așa. Ăsta nu, cred că am împințat eu o lecuță pe el. Mă, dar ăstea mai vechi sunt, bine, sunt și ăstea faine, dar tot ăstea noi. Ce frate, deci orice au pe ăstea. Bă, chiar sunt curios, bă, ce urmează, deci chiar sunt curios ce urmează. Și, no, bun, cam ăsta a fost și episodul. Eu sper că v-a plăcut. Dacă v-a plăcut și mai aveți episoade de genul, uitați acolo să spulberați la maximum acel buton de like, să vă abonați cu tot clopoțel, ca să fiți la curent cu tot ce postez. Share la prieteni voștri, follow pe Insta, serverele de Discord în descriere. Sper că n-am omis nimic. În fine, eu am fost Timer, ne mai auzim.